So I'm so excited, and I'm really thrilled to welcome you guys to Wonder Woman Wednesday. And this week I'm here with Kirstin, and she's with The Balance Culture, and she's the founder, correct?
Yep, founder and
It's
founder.
so amazing.
Thank
And
you.
I'm really excited. So I wanted to kind of start with why I think you're a Wonder Woman.
Aw,
And there's
that's so
multiple reasons. I'm passionate about entrepreneurs, so the fact that you had a vision and it came to fruition is amazing.
sweet. Thank you.
I followed your story with your children. I think it's incredible what you've done.
Thanks.
Your love story is for the books, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's really amazing. And
Thank
so
you.
there's those reasons. But biggest thing of all is I love the brand of the Balance Culture and just your commitment to women and as a culture.
I
And
appreciate
so
that.
welcome to today.
Thank
and
you.
for
Thanks
letting
for
us set
having
up.
me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm
We're
excited to
super
be here.
excited. So I wanted to kind of start out with a little bit about you.
Mhm.
If you don't know Kirstin, we're going to share a little bit about her story and where this all kind of came from.
Yeah.
So you're married,
Yes.
and your husband?
His name is Thomas, and we've been together 11 years, married 9 next week.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And where did you meet?
We met at school, so English Comp 1 at Southeastern University. We just became friends and got to know each other, and I wasn't interested in dating at all. I was super focused on school and all that, but then I met him and it was like game over. And so we were engaged about 5 months later and married a year after that.
Oh, wow.
So it was super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, super fast, but it just felt right. So here we are,
Yeah.
years later, 2 babies. It's good. I love
So
it.
I started following you on Instagram.
Mhm.
Then if you guys, definitely have to check it out. And I'll post about all your links too when I post the interview. But I read a really fantastic couple of blogs actually. One was really awesome. It was kind of your top tips on love, which
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, okay, I remember
And
that
your
post.
story
Yeah.
with your husband.
Mhm.
And so now you guys have been married and you both own your own businesses, correct?
Yep.
And so tell me a little bit about his business.
Yeah, so he's in financial coaching. So he owns a financial brokerage.
Okay.
So he has pretty big team that works with him, and they meet with middle income families, help them with their finances. So he loves it. He's been doing that for about 6 years now.
fantastic.
So-
So like retirement plans. and-
Retirement plans, investments, insurance, kind of the whole thing. So he sits down with the family, helps them with like every area of their finances, creates a game plan for them, and kind of helps them put that into effect.
And what's the name of the company?
So the name of the company is Primerica, and he owns like a franchise within that.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so I was reading that he started his business first.
Yep. He started
And so
his,
you
yeah.
were the supportive wife.
Yeah. Sometimes more reluctantly than others.
Okay, yeah, I can relate.
But yeah, so he started his business first. We kind of built that. I had decided to, so backing up a little bit, I decided to kind of put being a therapist on hold for the time being. And so I nannied full time, just brought in that income while he built his business, supported him. We got his business up and running. Once his business was up and running, we then launched mine.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
you were a nanny.
I was a nanny. I actually nannied all throughout college. Probably nannied for like a total of like 6 years or something like that. It was like, yeah, best income, loved the job. So it worked out really well throughout school. And then I did it for about a year after school.
Very cool.
Mhm.
So where did you come up with the idea around the brand, the Balance Culture?
Yeah. So I would say the whole idea of the balance culture itself came from me taking that like therapy background and really wanting to help women specifically in a holistic way. And I was helping women with their mental and emotional needs, but I really became passionate about physical, fitness, things like that, nutrition, and so I wanted to incorporate all those aspects. And so I noticed that pretty big void when I would meet with clients one-on-one. So I started to look for different programs, either in Tampa or Orlando. Lakeland, obviously, couldn't find anything that I could work out and do that. And so my husband's always talking business, and he's like, well, business is you find a need, you fill a need. Maybe there's a need for something like this, and you should start it. So I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, if it doesn't exist, I really do believe in this idea. I'll just start small and see where it goes. And so I just started to make these small little strides, and then all of a sudden it just kind of caught traction and built really big momentum. And then before we knew it, we were opening like 9 months later.
Wow.
So it was pretty crazy.
So how connected, in your opinion, are the mind, the body to the mind?
Yeah.
As far as, that being such a large piece of your mental health.
Yeah, totally.
Starts inside. What are your
Huge.
thoughts?
I think it's the biggest connection. I know for myself, I used to really struggle with anxiety. So once I started adding exercise into my life, my anxiety completely went away. I actually was on like a low dose of anxiety medication, started training for a 5K, and was able to even come off that medicine and haven't been on it ever since. So that's why I became so passionate about fitness specifically. And so even what we like kind of say to our clients and the kind of mode that our team functions out of is like, hey, your mind and mentally where you're at is way more important. That's why you're here, to work on those things. The physical aspects of things are just a bonus byproduct of being here and taking the classes. So all of our clients will walk in the door and they're just like, oh, okay, I just need my therapy today. Like, they call it their therapy, and they come in and they do the fitness class. They're with other women that are in the same type of situation that they are in. They're there for the same reason, and it kind of builds a community vibe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so now you have 2 children.
Yep. 2 children.
So my husband and I, we both own businesses as well as, a large family.
Yeah.
So how does that feel? Like running
Yeah.
the businesses,
It's
tackling the kids?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's honestly been pretty natural. I know that kind of sounds crazy because that is a pretty big jump, but I think I had built my life up until this point getting ready and setting up for that. So when I built my business, I always went from the framework of I will own my business won't own me. I had just met a lot of business owners prior who would work around the clock, couldn't take vacations, couldn't do anything. They didn't have any control over their time, and I just thought, well, isn't that the main reason to own a business? And so I kind of created from the beginning those systems and set them all in place. That maybe I wasn't functioning that way year 1, but the goal was, okay, by year 2, things are going to be running. They're going to be self-sufficient. My team is huge in that. Like, every person that we bring on to the team, they run in their own lane. They do an amazing job. And so I'm never even having to check in on anybody or anything like that. They just do such a fantastic job, so it makes it way easier for me. So to answer your question, by the time we added kids to the picture, things were already running here. And we had our ebbs and flows going. Of course, as a business owner, I'm going to be putting out fires and taking care of things and problem solving, but that just comes with the territory. On the day-to-day, things are pretty much set. So I'm able to, be full-time with my kids, but also run my business and do all the things that I love.
Now, here in the balance culture, how many different types of classes do you have?
I think we have 7. So we have Pilates, bar, yoga, HIIT yoga, boot camp, booty camp, and spin.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Booty camp, so focus
Booty camp.
Very
focus on that booty.
Yeah,
yes.
very important. The peach.
Yes.
Everybody has the peach on their Instagrams and stuff. I need to get some booty camp going here.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So I know your spin room is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
so
really cool.
do you have any plans of maybe having any other locations, or is this you're happy with where you're at?
So I think, I think before we duplicate the same thing, we would just go bigger with what we have.
Okay.
I just love the idea of keeping everybody under one roof. I love the energy and the vibe of all the women coming in and out. So I just think instead of multiple studios, to just go bigger and grander.
Yeah, awesome.
So.
It's really amazing, that you have such a great culture and that you have such amazing women, especially when you said 25 to 30 instructors, interns. That's some pretty incredible leadership skills.
Yeah, well,
when
you
can take that many people and get them all kind of in the same path and with the same end goal in mind.
Yeah.
That's quite incredible.
Yeah, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. I think I was pretty strategic from the very beginning. I heard somebody once say, or I read it somewhere, where it's way easier to not hire than it is to fire. And I took that and I really put a lot of thought into every single person that we brought onto the team. And there was a lot of hard decisions that I had to make early on that weren't always fun, but I knew end result wise to get the team and the culture that we wanted within the studio. It started with the team. And so just being really strategic about that early on, I think has saved us a lot of, hard times. And I don't know, we just have such a healthy, good team. And even the girls and how they interact with each other, people hear like, wow, you're part of a team of like 35, 40 women. Like, you must be dealing with cattiness and all these things. And honestly, I can say to this day, I haven't dealt with a single issue. The girls respect each other, love each other, and they've built the culture of the balance culture. And so it's just been super cool to be a part of.
Probably one of my favorite quotes that I hear and have said 100 times is the speed of the team is the speed of the leader.
Yeah.
So congratulations, because that's
thank you.
really, you should definitely know that is how that works. And
Thank
so
you.
you
I appreciate
attract,
that.
your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah, totally.
So a couple fun questions
Yeah.
for all these girls, because obviously we have this beauty sitting here.
Oh,
So workout clothes, what are some of your favorites? What are your go-tos?
So I wear Lululemon. I love Lululemon. They're the only like pants I wear. I'll grab like other tops and things like that from like Marshalls or H&M or even Forever 21. But for the most part, all of my pants, jackets, things like that, Lululemon.
Your staple pieces.
Staple pieces.
Yeah, they last a long time too.
Their quality, honestly, you can't top it. And their return policy. If I ever have any like a little stitching that comes out, they'll give me a brand new pair of pants. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I have several.
You need to take
Lululemon
advantage
pieces.
of that.
Yeah, for sure. I like them too because they're not see-through. So when you're like teaching a class, you don't want to bend over and then like your whole
100%.
tea bag or whatever type, is going on back there.
Yeah.
So
they've really
too.
perfected like their materials. So yeah, I love them.
And so I've read some of your posts about different cosmetics and different hair products.
Yeah.
Your hair, you talked a little bit about. So
yes.
I'll post the link. You guys have to get on her blog. It's amazing. I love it. And your transparency and all of those things.
So
but I'm told my husband, I actually screenshotted it and sent it to him because we do a lot of smoothies and juicing.
Yeah.
And so do you still do a lot of juicing?
I don't do a ton here lately. Not myself. If I get juice, I usually just get a cold pressed juice. I like Suja, that brand. I'll grab them from Publix or something like that. I think just the season of life of being mom, I just don't have time. Like honestly, cleaning the juicer. I don't have time to clean the juicer.
Right. Oh my gosh, I can totally.
But I definitely
it like sits in the sink full of water for
a week.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
So I've just been buying like cold pressed juices, things like that. But the goal is I'd love to get back into it probably when I start sleeping more. When my kids start sleeping.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
We just got both kids sleeping through the night, like 12 hours.
Good for you. I'm happy for you, and I'm wildly jealous.
Don't worry, it's coming.
It's coming.
Because I know, like, people who's, like, they post, like, oh, my 4-month-old slept through the night.
I'm like, who are those people?
I'm like, what? That has never happened. Then all of a sudden, like, about 13 months, Thomas just all of a sudden, it was like...
started sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
Well, I am happy for you.
Yeah, it's coming for you, too.
Thank you.
I promise. So diet-wise, so you're, with the connection between diet and obviously, we say 80% of your fitness is your gut, right?
Yeah.
So where do you fall in line there?
Yeah, so I don't follow like a specific diet or even diet trends. I feel like I've tried them all, and I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to just be like, oh, let's try keto for a little bit and see and things like that. It's more of a hobby than anything. But I always fall back to just eating healthy 80% of the time, as healthy as I can, and then 20% of the time saving for like, treats, enjoying myself, going out to dinner, getting whatever I want, and those margins like really seem to work for me. It's something I can stick with. I mean, it's easy to stay consistent with, and so that's kind of like my main mojo. So it's nothing extreme or crazy. I just try to eat as many whole foods as possible.
Are you a vegetarian?
No,
but you were for a while.
I was for a couple of years. Once I started the studio and was working out, I used to work out all the time because I taught a ton of the classes here back in the day when we first opened because I didn't know if I could afford payroll.
Yeah, of course.
And so I was teaching 2 to 3 times a day, and no matter how much I supplemented, I wasn't able to hit those protein goals, and I was really nervous about like muscle fatigue and things like that. And so I just had to start adding protein in, and then ever since then, it's kind of like my body craves it. So I really believe in listening to your body. Everybody's different in terms of how they process and digest certain foods, and so listening to your body, listen to the cravings. I mean, even chocolate cravings.
Yeah.
Listen to those. And just doing what's best for you.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
So as you know, we're really focused on empowering women.
Yeah.
And the everyday person, right?
Yeah.
Because we see lots on media, social media, filters, and all of these different things going on, and it's such a difficult thing to live up to.
Yeah.
So for the woman who is not in any type of current fitness routine.
Yeah.
What would be your largest tip, your number one tip to just get going?
Totally. That's such a good question. I would say, honestly, get out and walk outside for 20 minutes a day. You don't even have to like even power walk at a crazy level. So many people think that walking is so like underrated and am I really doing anything? But honestly, it could do so much for you mentally, emotionally, even your soul. Just like getting out, getting in the sunlight, getting that walk for 20 minutes can really make a big difference. So I always recommend that to people. That's something that literally everybody has access to. And then if you want to like up it a notch, like we have Lake Hollingsworth here. So even this morning I was walking with a friend and it's 3 miles and we walked around it and like those steps, they add up. Yeah, so I would say just start with walking and getting outside even if you can.
Awesome. And for the healthy living, the inner health.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, and I love it that you said this because there are so many fads.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff that you can't ever really stick to.
Right. Totally.
And it's funny that you said it's a hobby.
Yeah.
You're like a serial dieter.
Yeah.
You'll try anything.
Yeah.
I live my life much like you. I talk about the 80-20 rule all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And so with that, where do you see, how do you, your number one tip for someone just to get started on that healthy living?
Yeah. So I would say just to pick one meal, every day, and like make it the same meal. So say breakfast is, and for 1 week, just try to make as healthy breakfast choices as possible. So to me, that looks like, a couple of eggs, a couple of pieces of turkey sausage and some spinach, like sauteed spinach on the side. Or if you need something more fast, doing a smoothie. And even if you like those sweeter tasting smoothies, and add a scoop of protein in and add a handful of spinach. It'll make the biggest difference over a long period of time. And it's just something small that you're adding to. You're not even taking anything out. And so I would say pick one meal, focus on that. Try to amp that up, make it a little bit healthier, and then just watch how you kind of pick up momentum from there.
Awesome. That's a great tip. I love that.
Thanks.
So last question for you. And, last month we featured entrepreneur women. Yeah. And, so many people have huge dreams. Yeah. I was just writing a blog this week and, about just that we tend to sweep those underneath the mat. Yeah. And a lot of us, you had the foresight to start your business kind of around the vision of eventually having a family. Yeah. Whereas some might be in the place where they might want to get started and they already have, right? Yeah. The craziness of the kids. Yeah, yeah. So how did you find the courage, and what would be your number one tip for someone who is really looking to start something new and a little scary? Yeah, yeah. And how to get going? So my encouragement tip would be, I think sometimes we just think of having infinite time. And so we're like, well, I can just do that next year or then, or when this happens, or when that happens, or should and could and all that kind of stuff. I've just made it a practice to, if I have an idea, just do it. I don't even think about it. And it could fail. And all of them could fail. But to just get behind it and do it. And it's kind of like what I was sharing with you girls earlier, working that muscle. I think fear, as well as being brave, are both muscles that we work. And the more you exercise out of fear and make decisions out of fear. So I won't ever say no to anything because I'm scared of it. And that's kind of a rule, quote unquote, I made for myself when I started this whole process. So it could be the scariest thing to me ever. And I'll still, if maybe I have a conflict of a time thing that comes up or something like that, that can be my excuse, but it can't ever be fear. So I really work hard to exercise that muscle of being brave and taking on those challenges. And so that to me is that's all you can do. And so I would say just do it, honestly. And I know that sounds scary and kind of okay, well, you're just saying that, and doing it's a lot harder, and it is. But I just don't want to look back and be like, man, I've been saying this for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'm still saying it. And so if there's those reoccurring thoughts you have about a specific thing you want to do, I would just say it keeps coming up for a reason. So you might as well just kind of knock on that door and see what happens. And then the second part of your question, you can't just dream and want something, you have to be strategic about it. And so being strategic means sitting down, looking at your calendar, especially if you are a mom and you're wanting to own a business or you have multiple things on your plate. It's not just going to just happen. You're not going to wake up one day and all of a sudden have so much time that you can just devote to this thing. It's not that those parameters aren't going to change, but you do have control over it. And so time blocking is something that I'm really, really into. So
if you looked at my calendar right now, you'd literally think I was a psycho, because everything has a color in my life, whether it's classes that are happening at the studio or appointments I have for my kids, or things that I have personally going on. Everything has a color, it's all organized, and each thing is blocked. So for instance, from nap time today, when I pick my kids up from school, from 1 to 3, I have my list of things that I'm going to knock out for my business. We're building kids care, so there's things that I have to do, so that's my time frame to knock it out. So for 2 hours, I'm going to go hard, get everything I need to get done. And then, from 3 to 5 is like strategic, or not strategic, but just playtime with my kids. I'm not doing anything else. I don't have my phone on me, nothing. I'm just playing with them. And then I come to the studio from 5 to 7, here, knocking those things out, teaching a class, things like that. And so it's busy, and it kind of like, people will be like, well, do you just feel like boxed in? And I'm like, no, I feel like I'm getting a shit ton done.
Right, absolutely.
And so I'm like knocking things out so I can look back at my day and be like, okay, I used every hour I could. And then there's downtime too. I'm not running like a drill sergeant all day long.
Right.
But that's even set. Like, I have downtime set, because if not, I'll fill it with other things.
Yes.
And so Saturday's family day. I'm with my family all day. So, I kind of set it up that way, and I think that you have to, what do they say, like, fail to plan, plan to fail, something like that.
Yeah,
you guys know what I'm talking about. You got to plan, you got to be strategic, time block, and you will get it done.
Yep,
So.
and it's a muscle too.
Yeah,
that
definitely
takes time, those habits to form, and so.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you so much.
You're so
I hope
welcome.
you guys got tons of tips, because I know that I feel like I did, and I think the girls in the background that are on the cameras are like, yeah, this is awesome. So it's such a fantastic pleasure to meet you.
You too.
And
you too.
we want
Thanks
to
for
thank
having
you
me.
so much. Absolutely. And we will see you guys next week for Wonder Woman Wednesday.
Thank you.